This is what the canine condition should look like for every dog, but it doesn't. Why are there so many abandoned, abused, and neglected dogs all over this country?
Knowing that defenseless pugs are often abandoned and disregarded is heartbreaking. Finding out that pitbull-type dogs like our Dublin and our Hunter are victimized and vilified across this country is maddening. About a 3.5-hour drive north of Los Angeles is the city of Fresno, California. I found a wonderful rescue organization that saves, advocates, and protects pitbull-type dogs, Fresno Bully Rescue. Our goal was to find out what they're all about and how we can help.
I'm Becky Hawley, and I'm a board member with Fresno Bully Rescue. We are a local no-kill nonprofit rescue in Fresno, California. It started out as kind of a rescue shelter in downtown Fresno, and not a very ideal location. And I think the people that originally started it kind of overwhelmed themselves with too many dogs just because the need is so great. We're really lucky that we've had so much growth due to, you know, community participation and just social media and people wanting to get involved. It's an important issue for a lot of people. I think sometimes our local politicians or in general, they forget.
So Fresno Bully Rescue is unique because we're breed specific, so we only take in bully breed dogs, so that could mean pit bulls, bulldogs, mastiffs. This breed tends to end up in the shelters because a lot of housing doesn't allow bully breeds.
They're all pit bull or pit bull mixes, Staffordshire Terriers. Why are they the victims, particularly of so much abuse as a breed?
Media and the general public's perception of these dogs usually is one that, number one, doesn't feel pain. Number two, they're vicious. Number three, they can't be trusted and they will turn on people. So people really see them more as objects and people that want a certain bravado or are prone to violence in their own lives, whether it be fighting or, you know, gang activity, that sort of thing. They're prone to violence in their own lives, so it's not a far stretch for them to do that with the animals.
And this is when we met Enzo, a case of extreme neglect who stole our hearts.
In July of 2013, which was another very hot time in the Central Valley, we were called by a property manager and said that they had no idea what they were looking at, but that someone had left an animal in their backyard of their home. He had an all-over skin infection, heart murmur, horrible mange. Obviously, he was about 50 pounds underweight, and he's since gained nearly 50 pounds. He's grown a lot of hair back. Most of his skin is going to never recover. He sunburns easily, it nicks easily. It's all basically just scar tissue at this point.
Will he ever be up for adoption, or is he going to...
Yeah, he's up for adoption now.
Oh.
But until then, he's happy and healthy here with us. But yeah, that's the goal for all of our dogs. You know, he's adoptable. We're looking for the right person, and you know, we're waiting for that right family to come along.
Each person that I followed on social media or that commented on a post that I was following led me to the next person, the next person, next person.
I'm Nolani Guerrero, and I foster for Fresno Bully Rescue. So we had 4 dogs before we actually decided to start fostering, and we started off with puppies because we assumed, no, they're little, they're gonna be easier. Well, that's not true. The adults are so much easier, actually. So now we only foster adults, but we started off fostering only puppies for a long time. We had about probably like 15, 20 of them come through the house. Wow. Yeah, now we're about up to like 40 foster dogs we've had.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you've made a difference in the life of 40 dogs because they had somewhere to be before they got adopted.
Yeah, it doesn't feel that way because you're having so much fun with them, you know. You don't realize how much you're actually helping save a dog's life because you're having fun with a new dog, you know, in your house, and it's so easy just watching them play with my dogs and all of that. A lot of people comment how they're blown away how we can take a complete strange dog and put it into our home, and then within a few days, it's as if that dog's been there the whole time, you know. And it's not just unique to us. Most of the dogs are just so easygoing, and they're really, really good family dogs. I've even had people tell me I hated pit bulls or I hated these type of dogs, but then I started looking at your videos and I see how sweet they really are, you know.
What do you think are some of the things that people can do if they just say, you know what, I just can't foster?
they can still find a way to help. They can donate their services, like we do with screen printing. We've donated to our screen printing services to help them cover the cost of event T-shirts and stuff like that. Every little bit helps. You know, there's so many things that you can do, and people don't even realize.
Come here, Dee.
She's really tired.
Boy, she's exhausted. She's been swimming for like 2 hours.
You've been swimming too long, girl. Come here. My name is Joe. I help foster for the Fresno Bully Rescue.
How does the phrase man's best friend ring true with you?
Indy is definitely my best friend.
How could you maybe encourage other guys to get involved?
Yeah, it's actually really easy to foster. A lot of people don't think about fostering, like they hear the word, but they don't actually think about what it is. It's actually not as hard as a lot of people think. Like if you already have a dog especially, because you can just get a dog that kind of will follow your dog and learn from your dog, and then it's actually pretty easy. They pay for everything. They'll answer any question you need. If it doesn't work out, you can take it back, find a different dog that might like to hang out with your dog. They'll work with you too, and there's pretty much everyone can do something to help.
Have you had any experiences where you see people judge you or your dog based on her breed?
Yeah, totally, because a lot of people would always like I was in the Taco Bell drive-thru and she was like 1 year old maybe, and she's just sitting in the passenger seat, happy, loving dog. And the lady closed the window and was like, oh my gosh, is she gonna jump through the window? And I'm like, are you kidding me? She's sitting here panting. Like, is she on the edge of the window, like look like she's gonna jump through? And she like didn't wanna, so another employee had to come up and help me. I'm like, that's just ridiculous. Like, there's been ridiculous situations where people were just walking our dogs, like not too long ago, a couple weeks ago, and some lady just jogging, she's all, oh, those look aggressive or something. Like, what? Like, just keep your words to yourself. Like, they're happy, nice dogs. It's just like people just think things about them and they're uneducated is what it is.
This is Spencer. He came to the Fresno Bully Rescue from a small town, Selma, California, not too far from here. Him and his litter mates. He's currently awaiting adoption. A lot of his litter mates have been adopted, and we're kind of surprised his cute face is still around.
All the puppies are rescue puppies, so they've all come from different scenarios. Can you just share with us some of the different places they've come from?
Some have been abused or not taken care of so well. We had one puppy whose ears were cut, like in a hack job in a backyard. And so when we got her, still scabby ears, because they want them to look mean. It's sensitive, I think, because a lot of people do it for monetary reasons, or they think it's supporting their family by breeding dogs or selling them. So it's a tough subject to kind of bring up with them, I feel like. Once our puppies are old enough that we foster is, taking them out in the neighborhood and just letting them see, a pit bull being walked down the street and let them know we're not keeping him, he's for adoption. And, he came from an abusive home or came from somewhere that it was bred, and just kind of let them see.
You're living by example. Basically.
Yeah, let them see the results of what they're doing and what it causes and how many people are actually trying to solve a problem.
Excited by the advocacy and efforts of Fresno Bully Rescue to educate their community and safely adopt out these innocent, lovable bully breed dogs, we followed their journey to the new facility. And what we saw gave us hope that we can indeed improve the canine condition for all pit bull type dogs.
The last time we met, you were at a different facility.
Yes.
And now that we came here to visit you today, I mean, this is awesome. It's beautiful. It's quiet. You wouldn't think there's as many dogs saved here. Because,
Right.
listen
Yeah,
to
there's
this
about
place.
40 dogs here right
It's
now.
fantastic.
Support from the public is huge. We have always said, money will come. We can do donations. We can work our butts off to do fundraisers often. But what we really want is people to come out here. We want people to see this place. We want people to see and interact with the dogs. Yes, they're from shelters. Yes, someone else didn't want them. But when you meet them, you can't figure out why.
Oh, you just can't get enough. You can't. What? You just can't get enough. You're gonna get adopted because you're just beautiful. Oh, yes.
My husband and I, we got married and we wanted a dog, but it was quickly after us owning a pit bull that we started to really experience the prejudice that the breed gets. People would walk by and say something mean or just have something really negative to say. And so it really kind of inspired my husband and I to want to make a change or help change the perception of the breed.
And when we visited you last, we met a doggy named Enzo. I know that Enzo's not with us anymore, but can you tell us a little bit about his journey after we met him and the life that he had?
So when we moved out to this new facility, we moved Enzo in, my husband and I, into our home. So he became started off as a foster dog because we had every intention of still searching for that forever home for him, but he ended up staying with us for the rest of his life. And so we'd take him on adventures, and you know, he loved to sunbathe, he loved to chew on his toys, and he had lots of space because we're on some acres too. So he had a really good life with us.
Aww.
And I think, you know, just the state of his original health that we found him in, that's damaging to someone's body. So there was going to be something that got him eventually, you know, but he lived to be almost 10 years old.
Oh, that's
so
good.
Yeah, despite what he faced, he lived a pretty long life.
Yeah, yeah, and he had his own Instagram page.
Yes, Enzo, as you kind of experienced yourself, he was a little star. So he touched a lot of people all over the world. It was
really
crazy.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so when we first started advertising his story, I mean, we got donations from the UK and all Australia and Hawaii, and
chills.
Yeah, so it was really neat. So he touched a lot of people. It's just even just helping one dog changes the world, like they say, for them, right?
Yeah.
So it's really true. And then you encounter adopters that we've come across that adopted from us years ago, and they just go on to tell us the most amazing stories of how, you know, we think, oh gosh, am I even doing any good anymore? Or you feel kind of let down or depressed, or, you know, the worst the world kind of gets you sometimes, but you encounter people's stories of how you've affected them in such an amazing, like, impactful way in their life just by adopting them a dog or coming.
They have puppies, what are you looking for? Guarantee there's a rescue or a shelter near you that has exactly what you're looking for.
Dogs are great. They're just so loving. You go in a yard, they run up, they like to see you. And the fact that the staff works to get the dogs out twice a day, like, who wouldn't want to be out walking dogs?
There's a lot more people out there trying to do good for it than what some people realize. And I think if maybe more people voice what they do for rescues or for the canine condition, that I think a lot more people would kind of open up to it and join along, and that would be better.
There's an emotional barrier that keeps a lot of people from helping the dog rescue world. Right. What would you say to people like that, or what are other things that maybe wouldn't tear at their heartstrings as much?
Well, I think nothing tears at your heartstrings more than watching either child abuse or animal abuse or continued neglect of a soul that has no voice. And all I can say is you don't have to be super tough to be in rescue. You, number one, have to have a good heart. You have to guard that heart once in a while, but most of all, you have to be not afraid to speak up. We're the only ones that can do it. They can't speak, they can't advocate for themselves. So we really have to do it for them.
When I don't know where to go, and I don't know where to turn to, I know at least that I got you. And when I'm feeling sad and lonely, and I need someone to hold me, I know at least that I got you. When life doesn't turn out like I planned, and I need someone who understands what I'm going through. It takes a lot.